here today, Miranda. I just want to kind of start by going over what these sessions are going to look like with you and and I want to get a feel from you as to really why you're here. I looked at your assessment, so I have a little bit of an idea as to what is going on in your life right now that might have brought you here. I can make assumptions about that, so
Okay.
it'll be important for me to hear that from you. As far as this first meeting, is I'm just going to kind of try to spend some time getting to know you and what maybe your goals will be moving forward, and we'll try to come to a mutually agreed upon goal plan for you. Okay,
Okay, sounds good.
good. Uh, as far as um, how often we're going to meet, I'm going to kind of leave that up to you, Miranda. I mean, from what it sounds like, you have a lot going on right now. I think that it's important that you're here, and we want to continue these sessions. As far as flexibility, I think that's going to be really important with your schedule right now.
Mm-hmm.
What I understand, you're in graduate school. You have some health issues going on with some family members. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So my first thought is that probably once a week might work well. How are you thinking? What are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I think that should work.
Okay, good. Well, I think let's start with that, okay?
Okay.
Um, and then I just briefly have to touch on confidentiality. We do have a therapeutic relationship in that everything discussed with me will stay confidential, with one exception, and that's if you were to report any self-harm, that you had been thinking about harming yourself, or that you might harm someone else, or if you're being abused or neglected, I would have to make the exception to our confidentiality and report that.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So how are you feeling about what we've talked about so far?
Good. I understand and feel comfortable.
Good, good. Okay, so I guess like I said, I looked briefly at your assessment. But I do want to hear from your own words, Miranda, about what's bringing you in here today.
Okay. Well, lately, past month, I've been feeling really sad and down. My dad is in the hospital right now. He's been in the hospital for over a month. He was originally in Sioux Falls, and then they flew him to Minneapolis, so that's where he's been for the past month. And I've been making trips back and forth to see him. I've pretty much been spending most of my time in the cities with him,
Mm-hmm.
and then I pretty much just come back for classes. So I've been attending classes, and then I also have an internship right now. So I've been missing a lot of hours for my internship. So I'll most likely have to take an incomplete and finish up whenever the things settle down with my family. So I guess I just feel really stressed and worried, and I want to just focus on my dad and that, but it's like there's a lot of other things that need to get done
Yeah,
too. So
yeah. Well, Miranda, I mean, there's no doubt that you have a lot going on right now. And what I hear you saying is that you have this, um, it's hard for you to balance the two very important things in your life right now, which is school and your family, and you don't know, what should get more attention, and would you say that that's kind of where
yeah,
you're at? Is it just, where am I going to put my energy? And there's not enough of me to go around,
yeah,
maybe.
hmm,
Um, I also, one thing I heard you saying is that you're feeling a little sad and down. Is that correct?
yeah.
Um, so would you say that being sad and down was something that you had experience with before Dad getting sick and before starting grad school?
No, I would say before graduate school I wasn't sad. Graduate school was kind of just stressed me out and worry. But the sad part pretty much only came um, with my dad being sick. That's the only time I've been really
Okay.
sad and down.
Okay. So, I just have to say, I think that it's pretty great that you've recognized that about yourself, that, hey, this is not a feeling that I'm used to, and that you're here today.
Hmm.
I think that's very promising, Miranda.
Hmm.
So once again, I just have to say thank you for coming in. And so I guess when we talk about, you know, how you feeling sad and stressed right now, can you tell me more about what that's like for you on a day-to-day basis? I mean, are you sleeping? What, you know, do you notice areas in your life that are
Yeah.
suffering?
So I haven't been sleeping well at night.
Sure.
I've had a few incidents where I was staying at my sister's in the cities, and she came down at like 3:30 in the morning
Okay.
to give me news about my dad. So that wasn't good news. And then I've had middle of the night phone calls while I've been in Sioux Falls, saying things were critical and that the family needed to get back to the cities. So sleep has been really hard. It's hard falling asleep, and then kind of any little noise kind of wakes me up just because I'm afraid I'm going to be getting a phone call or
Sure.
someone's going to be coming in to tell me something.
Yeah.
And then, I've been just really tearful no matter what, where I'm at. It's just kind of comes out of nowhere, especially if I'm thinking about what's going on, and I wish that I could be back in the cities while I'm here.
Sure. Yeah, it sounds like you've got a lot of high emotion right now with everything going on, and that's kind of a theme. It sounds like it's wishing you were, you know, with your family when you're at school, or vice versa, thinking about school when you're with your family. So, I do want to say, Miranda, I know you said sleep's been hard for you right now, but research does say that when someone's going through a crisis or, you know, experiencing some issues maybe with their family and health, like you're experiencing now, that it becomes very important to take care of yourself. So that means getting, you know, 8 hours of sleep or whatever's normal for you. You know, trying to eat 3 meals a day and have those meals be as healthy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize, you know, some of that sleep stuff is out of your control when things are going on, but I would encourage you to really make that a focus to think about how much sleep you're getting, what meals are you eating, because that does help you stay somewhat healthy during a time in crisis. So going forward, I hope that you take that into consideration for your own well-being.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess going forward in our sessions here, I would like to get some insight. If we look at what life is going to look like when Dad's hopefully better and out of the hospital and you're done with grad school, which what a amazing goal. What does life look like if you look out that far ahead?
Life looks like, having my own house. It's kind of been hard now since we don't really have a lot of money being in school, and just this whole health thing not really working right now. So I have a house, once I graduate, and have kids. We're waiting to have kids till after graduate school, so just starting to build a family.
Sure.
And for my dad to be healthy.
Yeah.
Maybe even have a suite for him and have him stay with us.
Yeah, well, see, good. So, Miranda, it sounds like you've got some ideas about what the future is going to look like. And I know that that's very hard right now to think about the future, but you've got a lot of good things in store for you, it sounds like. So, I would encourage you to think about that. That may help you through some tough situations like you're going through now.
Okay.
So I guess moving forward, I do want to just touch briefly on and ask about how your family, like it sounds like you from your history, you have a brother, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And how is your family dealing with this? Like, how are those family relationships holding up?
Family dynamics have kind of changed since my dad's health. We're all really close with my dad. I've got 2 other siblings, a brother and a sister. And my mom is in the picture too. My mom and dad have been divorced for 20 years, but she still cares a lot. I'm the power of the attorney for my dad's medical stuff. So, there's been times where we've had to make big decisions, and my dad hasn't been awake or conscious for the decisions. Like they decided to do life support at one point in time this past month, And my brother is supportive of DNR, so do not resuscitate. So he's kind of had different ideas about what to do, especially during that time of life support. So, since he believes in DNR, he didn't think that we had the best interest in mind, and, I told him if Dad thought that he had a reasonable chance of living, that he wanted to take it.
Sure.
So it's just been, we've had conflicting thoughts about things, so it's been kind of difficult to get everyone on the same page.
Sure. Well, and I think you touched on a really important point of, when there are these health issues that create some conflict that maybe would have never came up had this not happened, and it's you start to think about, oh, I didn't know that my brother felt that way, and that can be very difficult. So that's what I was going to touch on that with you, is that research states that when families are going through a crisis like this, that the chances of your family dynamics having that change are pretty high. And that can cause conflicts like what you're saying. So I think going forward, I want to make that a focus with you, is, how are you going to manage that conflict and still being able to assert yourself and what you believe is important and what you believe is important for your father too. Because if you can keep that conflict level down, that's going to help that stress level too. So, are you feeling okay about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
So I think we'll work on that, and then I would also like to, encourage that self-care and how you're taking care of yourself right now in this hard time for you. Okay.
Okay.
So I think at this point, I just want to thank you so much for coming in, Miranda. I think that once again, it shows how much insight you have into yourself, and I look forward to us continuing our sessions in the future.
Well,
Okay.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.